they did like they did for voting? What if they opened up all the stadiums and all the basketball arenas and all the arenas and put huge inoculation centers in there and just have you just walk in, bam, 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 and they just hit you, put the alcohol on you, bam, and you walk out, bam. Now, they're going to need some kind of systems like that that's never been done before in order to inoculate the population like they're talking about. Now, I haven't heard any plan on how they're going to distribute. They're making all these doses, but I haven't heard any plan at all about how they plan to make this work. And that's going to be a critical decision in terms of how many people can be inoculated. They're going to have to think outside the box. The usual way, going to your doctor's office and get your shot, is not going to work in this situation.
Sure.
They're going to have big, big innovative ideas. Like I said, if you had big trucks with 5 or 6 nurses on them or something, and you just park and people come up, bam, and you just hit them, as fast as they come up until you take care of the whole crowd, and then you take off and another truck is, something like that is going to have to be done if they want to get really a lot of people vaccinated at the same time, because they won't fit in any kind of conventional situation that we have now. You can't send everybody to the hospital. You're going to have to go to the people with it. And so right now, there's no delivery system like that in the country. So they're going to have to come up with some innovative ways to do it. Wow. It can be done, but they're going to have to think outside the box.
Yeah. So one of the questions
24-hour vaccination centers where people just can come up whenever you can, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, they just pop the people with the vaccine. Bam, 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 bam. Till the guy come back twice. Yep, what can you do about it? Nothing. Because you just have to keep working at it, and keep just inoculate as many people as you can. Because you're talking about huge numbers that we've never seen before. All of this is based on things that we have not had any semblance of what we're trying to do. Inoculate the whole country, 350 million people. So it's going to have to be some outside and forward thinking, some things that we have never done before, never even thought of before. We're going to need those kind of minds on this to try to figure out how to do it. And like I said, in other countries, they have, like in India, they do tubal ligations like that, Mike. They have a truck, like a moving hospital, and anyone, because they have the population is so out of control, you just go to the truck, they slap you in the truck and do a tubal on the truck, and you go home, you walk out of there with your tube style. And they just do that in neighborhoods.
Wow.
Trying to keep the population under control. Because people are starving to death.
Wow.
See, we don't have anything like that in this country, but they, they had to think out of the box. Now, is it the most sanitary? No. Is it all you would like it to be? No. But they get the job done,
Wow.
And so that's why I'm saying, if they opened up the Staples Center and said, just come through here like an organized lines and just bam, 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 just hit people one swipe with an alcohol pipe, inoculation, and you just keep moving. Just keep moving out the door. Bam, 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 bam. You're gonna have to have that kind of thinking, which, in this country we've never done before, but there are examples around the world on how people have done things like that to deal with population control or infection. Undeveloped countries sometimes are doing things innovative that we haven't even thought about because we don't have that necessarily need to do mass injections or mass tubal ligations or anything like that. But if we look out into the world, and especially in the medical community, we've seen that kind of innovative things that are born out of necessity, that we may have to employ to get that many people inoculated. Because we're talking about numbers off the chain. Nobody ever talking about 100 million people, and we got 3.5 million people. It's going to be, it's just the process is going to be something that has to be very innovative.
Wow. Well, Doc, we certainly appreciate it. We're running close on our time. And of course we had some technical challenges getting started this evening, and we certainly apologize to our listeners on the Spreaker network. And we also apologize to our Facebook Live, listeners. We're trying to figure out what some of these technical challenges are doing to us and where they're coming from, but we're going to get it straight. But anyway, Doc, we really appreciate having Dr. Eugene Albright from Riverside, California to kind of come in here this evening and help us all with making a very critical decision whether or not you're going to take the virus. And you've heard Dr. Albright's perspectives on taking it. He plans to take it himself. And if you listen to some of our previous shows, you know that is certainly a 360 degree, but we also gives you something to think about as you have those discussions with your loved ones as well. So, Doc, we really appreciate it. And Thin Bad and Shan, you have any parting words for us?
No, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate all the information you gave us. It was well needed. We still have like 1,000 questions for you to answer, but it'll be another time. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, Doc. And folks, you can find out what's going on in your state. Like Doc said, they've got a plan for who's supposed to get vaccinated, but they don't have a plan. He's right. You got to figure out the plan for how all of that's going to work. But if you Google your state and put, COVID, whatever your state is, COVID vaccination or COVID vaccine distribution.
Yeah.
It'll give you a list of, how it's laid out. Like here I am in North Carolina, phase 1 is they're looking at doing 727,000 to 950,000 folks.
Awesome.
We do have a link in our feed. So if you look, you'll be able to see it. I had someone put it in there, and they give you the rollout for your state.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, Dr. Albright, we certainly appreciate you coming on with us tonight. And Thin Bad and Shannon, as always, you all look like $2 million. Shannon looks like $3 million. So, when we're
out of contract. We only played my song one time tonight. We're out of contract.
That's right. We have to remember who we're dealing with here. So we just have to make sure we take care of Shannon. Yes, indeed.
Mike?
Yes, sir, Dr. Albright. Yes, sir.
Let me say this, that I'm going to be paying very close attention to what's happening with this vaccine. And if you want to do this, again, like when they start getting more information, I'll gather as much information as I can and sort through it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And sort through it so that in a couple of weeks I may have some more information, and I'll be looking and listening and trying to figure out what the information is so I can help you and the listeners stay up on top of what's going on.
Yes, sir. And we really appreciate that, Dr. Albright, because everybody is clamoring for information and good information. And so we hope that we'll be able to provide that for our listeners, not only on Facebook Live, but across the world on Spreaker and on iHeartRadio. And we certainly appreciate your time, and please be safe. And we're definitely going to have you back on, Doc, so you can bring us some additional information about how it's going, and if you have any concerns after they begin the whole process. And I'm sure we'll probably have a lot more questions then than we do now, particularly once they get it started. So again, Doc, we really appreciate it. Thin Bad and Shannon, as always, we appreciate you all. And to our audience, we always appreciate you all allowing us to give it to you straight. No chaser. Bye.
Are we off?
We're off in a minute. Just play in the background for our listeners on Spreaker. You've been listening to Straight No Chaser. So join us next week for more hot topics. And also, you can always catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, iHeartRadio.
It was so many. I got so many comments, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, said they don't know.
Oh wait, here's hey Susan.
And people talking about it's fire today.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Susan.
She says she'll call you.
Yeah, we had a lot of comments, like in my personal